Hello everyone, welcome to the Pequeno Pod with Señor Pequeños. If you want episodes early, bonus episodes, special guest interviews, and other perks, please consider supporting us on Patreon, which will give you all of those things for the price of one coffee cup per month. You can find us at patreon.com/pequenopod, Pequeno pod. Otherwise, enjoy this free episode, and I hope you have an awful day.
You know what I always notice about the podcast is, like, it's Daniel's voice being really relaxing at the beginning, and it's like, hello and welcome, and then it transitions to us screaming, like, immediately.
Hello everyone, welcome to this week of the...
Yeah, I'm really... Just chimp noises.
There's a reason this is succeeding in Germany and not the US. Oh, look at these stupid Americans.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them go.
We're like monkeys in a zoo.
Combined, we have so much, like, knowledge from engineering and nursing and all this shit.
Yep.
Nope.
You wouldn't ever find any of it here.
Haha, poop funny.
Poop funny.
I'm getting my master's after my undergrad. Poop. Poopy sound.
Dude, my friend was like, dude, your life is literally like one shit post, but like, that's just you constantly. It's just like a shit post, but like literal shit. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, about that.
Lively, have you always been obsessed with poop as a kid? And it just translated to adulthood?
I mean,
Were you always like, haha, poop funny, and then it just stuck?
Funny. I think it's like I got it from my dad, probably. He always like was like fart poo-poo jokes, and my mom is like very mature, and she's always very irritated by it, so I always found it funny since I was
Your
little.
dad's like, hey, honey.
Like we've never had a single dinner conversation my entire life.
You guys eat in silence?
No, where we haven't brought up, like, bathroom talk, so...
Oh, you thought she said, I've never had a Denver conversation. Denver?
Denver.
Had a Denver conversation.
I hate Colorado.
Yeah. Fuck.
Hey, could you pass the Colorado? Fuck! Shut up! Enough about that!
Yeah. No, my family's like the opposite of silent during dinner. We're very loud. Like, I remember I was dating my ex, and like, I was trying to start a conversation with them, and then like, his dad turned up the music louder when I was talking, and I was like, and then he was like, oh, sorry, we don't normally talk during dinner. And then they just went back to eating, and it was silent, and I was like, do I stop talking now?
We don't talk.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, do I finish my statement, or... And I just stopped and was like...
People play music during dinner?
Yeah, they don't...
Yeah, that's odd. I thought the same thing. That's odd. I never was like, let me turn on the radio.
Hey, so how was your day-to-day? Why do good girls like back? It turns out. Like...
Yeah, it was just like that. And I was like...
I can't hear now because... I've had this question for...
Yes.
I'm eating.
Yeah, and for dinner
I'm enjoying my tunes.
Yeah, they were having like ham and cheese, like for dinner, and I was like, this family is interesting. Yeah.
Leave me to my ham and kids bop.
Like, they were like literally the whitest family. Like, it was very weird.
Honey, bring me another Lunchable.
Yeah.
Honey, bring the Oscar Mayer bag. Honey, bring out the wieners.
They're like best friends with my parents, but like, I'm like, what, do you guys just not talk when you go over there? Like, I don't know, like I remember, like, I was sitting there talking, and his dad was just like, wow, you talk a lot, don't you? And I was like, and I'm like,
I've heard that so many times, you have no idea how many times I heard that as a kid.
That would shatter me as a person. This is why I don't talk at like public gatherings. I just stay quiet.
I dated another person, and their dad was like, it was the first time I met their dad, and
you dated a person and their dad? Sorry. No,
yes.
Yeah, keep going.
You interrupted me. I would. And yeah, and their dad was like, "Oh, are you really nervous?" And I was like, "No, not at all. And I'm just a twitchy person, I guess." And they're like, "Wait, you look really nervous. Do you have like Tourette's?" And I was like, He was like the third person to ask me that, though, like that year. Like, I was working at the church. Yeah, I was working at the church and was like, yeah, I was just like sitting there in church, and like they were like, "Oh, your head was bobbing a lot," and I was like, "'Cause they were playing music."
Who watches that? Were they
These
old?
Jesus tunes were slamming, babe.
Yeah.
I saw you grooving to the Jesus music. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you sinning in your head?
Yeah, are you sinning? Yeah, they were just watching me. Like, they came up to me
Ew.
after, like, the service and were like, do you know your head moves a lot? And I'm like, I guess I'm kind of fidgety. And they were like, well, like, my sister, she has Parkinson's, and it started like that. So, and I was like, ugh. I was like, dude.
Well, of course she did. Why not? Damn it. I hope that was your response.
Yeah,
So wait, hold on. The Parkinson's woman was criticizing you on bobbing your head?
No,
Do we
she
not
said
see
her
the
sister
problem
had
here? I'm not
Parkinson's.
slamming Parkinson's. I'm just saying.
No, you're definitely slamming
I'm
Parkinson's.
just
Just
saying.
slamming.
Michael J. Fox writes this letter. I really liked your podcast until episode 7.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up with the girl on your podcast? She keeps moving uncontrollably. That's just what's up with that shit. Okay, Michael, we're gonna need you to not criticize the women on our podcast, please.
The women.
No, that happens. It's just like I had a friend that she was really good at singing, and she would sing at like our like youth things, and she had fun. But she was like, maybe I'll like singing at church. So she sang at church once when I was leading worship. And afterwards, she was like, I got comments from so many old people like, yeah, why were you like fidgeting with your hand? Why were you like, I mean, everyone was on her and not any of us, even though we all, I mean, I don't look good during worship. Like, I never look up because I'm on a piano.
You're not sexy enough. They need to look at the eye candy lady.
I never look up and worship is like, hallowed be thy name.
Wow, what a dime piece.
And after that, she was just so discouraged, and it broke my heart. But I was like, yeah, all the old people, literally, that's all they. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
people
know,
are
church is a
super
crazy
judgmental.
place. Like,
It's-
in general, I went to a
Yeah.
religious school 5th grade through 8th grade. But,
Nice.
Was it a Catholic school?
Yeah, a Catholic school.
Did
So
you
in
have
5th
nuns?
grade, yes, but a different Catholic school. No, oh my god, I gotta tell you that story too.
Yes,
okay, I'll
please.
start with the first one.
Okay.
So I transferred into this school, and I was just in like a public school 1st through 4th grade, but it ended at 5th grade, and then I had to go to a middle school that our local one, my parents were like, no, you're not going there, because the cops were called like every day
Because it was Chicago?
kids were literally having like knife fights in the playground. So my parents were like, yeah, let's not take you there. And I was like, but mom, my friends are there. And they're like,
But Mom, I
where's
brought
your
my
life?
knife Bible. I'll be fine.
No, that was the public one. So they're like, we're gonna go like the complete 180, and we're gonna take you to a religious school. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So they took me there, and I didn't know anyone, and I was such an outcast. And it wasn't because like I was just like new. It was more so like everyone grew up.
Mega religious.
It was a different city, so everyone knew each other, and they all grew
Right.
up together. And then
I can relate to something finally.
I was the only brown kid, so they're like,
Okay, I
oh.
can't relate anymore. Sorry. I can still relate.
I can relate.
I can relate. I'm brown.
Look at my name. I am also a Mexican.
Mexican.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I remember going there, and I when you're little at that age, because it was 5th grade,
Right.
you're kind of like, how do I make friends? So I'm just like trying to be nice to everyone, and they would just be like just glare at me and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. I remember the first day at recess, because it was 2 separate classes for 5th grade. They all mingled during recess, and like the head student, the leader of the whole 5th grade, he goes
What?
up to the other leader of the 5th grade, and he's like, what'd you get? And he points to me, he's like, we got this one. And I'm like, dude, I feel like a stray dog. Like, this sucks.
We got
I
this
hate
one.
this so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. But then
They were choosing like gangs.
it's not even gangs. It was just they were like,
Jesus,
what'd you
gangs.
get? That one, like that one. Dude, I have a
hate
name,
that. Ew.
bro. Jesus.
No.
But I quickly
Gross.
befriended a kid, and eventually I became his porn dealer.
And he was horny.
I'm sorry. We took a detour there really quickly.
Yeah, it's a very. I could explain it if you guys want.
I'm good. I probably understand what that means.
It's
He
a
made
very
money.
intricate story.
It's like Deal or No
Made
Deal,
money.
right? But with porn.
I'll explain.
Deal
I'll
or no
explain.
deal.
I know
No,
what it's
I'm going to
joking.
explain.
It's a joke.
This is a very good story. I like
Hold on, let
telling
me
It's a
these
grab
great
my
stories.
story.
Bible. Let me grab my.
So, I was friends with this one kid who liked Mario because I had Mario on my backpack because that was cool. And he's like, "You like Mario too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's great." Are you actually holding a?
Dude,
I thought that was a Mormon's Bible.
Yeah, it's the Book of Mormon.
Yo, what?
No. Do I look? Well, don't answer that. Do I
Yes.
look like a? No, hold on.
Yeah.
I walked in once from a. Sorry, really quick. I walked in from a wedding once into school, and I still had on like a white like T-shirt, and my teacher was like, "What are you walking here with that for? You look like a fucking Mormon." And I was like, "Okay." And so then I stood there with my hands clasped, and I was like, "Do you want to hear about the Lord?" And he was like, "That's funny. Good one, kid. Sit down."
Good one.
Anyway,
You're not
continue.
one of those stupid missionaries, are you? Get out.
He pulls out a gun. We don't do that stuff here. No, so I met this kid. We both liked Nintendo, and we're like, all right, let's be buddies. It was my one friend, right? So one day he's like, "Hey, do you know about the internet?" And I was like, "Well, yes, I do know about the internet. We have a home computer."
I use
And he's
Facebook
like-
on my home computer.
No, I
use
literally
MySpace
did. That's what's
frequently.
messed up. I used to use Facebook and Twitter on my home computer. It was miserable. Looking back, that's
aging you
awful.
right there.
Yeah,
love
so
it.
he's like, "Do you know what the internet is?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, do you guys have like a computer?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, okay, cool. Did you know you could find anything on the internet?" And I was like, I mean, sure, because I would just play on like CartoonNetwork.com or like dumb stuff like that. I wasn't like full, like searching for like, okay, that's a lie. I used to look up like Bigfoot on images, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, he's real," you know?
Wait, who?
Bigfoot. I was just looking up on
Oh.
Google Images. And I'd be like,
He's real. Look, it's right there. The internet said so.
exists.
Loch Ness Monster. Why do people disbelieve it? It's right there.
It's right there on Google.
He's like, did you know you can look up Milkies?
Google's Jesus.
Hold on.
He's real. I see a
Jesus-
picture.
Yo, Jesus is on Google.
Why is he
bro.
white?
Why is he white?
Yeah, so he's like, you could find anything on the internet. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess, sure. I just took his word for it. And he's like, "Can you look up something for me?" And I was like, I mean, sure. So he goes to his desk, he scribbles something down on a piece of paper,
Bulbs.
he folds it up, and then gives it to me. And he's like, "Don't open this unless you're home. And if you're home, make sure you're alone. And then just Google this." And I was like, it was like a Bond mission, you know? So I was like, okay. So I took his little Post-it, put it in my pocket, went home, turned on the family computer. I go on Google, I take out the Post-it note, and I open it. And it just says, "Ladies in bikinis." I was like, so I was like,
That's
okay.
adorable.
So I like type it in, like click on Google, I click on images, and I'm like,
And you're like,
oh, because you know you're in 5th grade, and you're like,
my innocence.
there's more stuff under the clothes, you know. So I was like
Awooga.
freaking out, and I was like, that's so cool, dude. So the next day, he has like this smug smile. He's like, "So what'd you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty cool, man." And he's like, "I got another one for you." And he goes to his desk, writes on a piece of paper, he folds it up, hands it to me, and again, "Oh, don't open this until you're home. Make sure you're home alone." And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I go home, and it's like, it was literally like the same thing, but he added like boobs to it or something. So it was like "ladies in bikinis, boobs." So it was just like this focused.
Goes one word every day.
And
He's still
I'll-
going to this day.
"Ladies in bikinis,
Ladies,
boobs,
boobs,
and butt."
Lady, butt, hot, booga booga, humana.
Ooh, ah. So
Ooh, monkey.
I
Ooh,
come
ah.
back the next day, and he's like, "So what'd you think about that one?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was like it was kind of lackluster because it was like, all right, I already saw this yesterday, you know." Then he saw
Already
that, I
bored.
guess, because he was like, "All right, well, I got something for you now, and this is gonna knock your socks off." And I'm like, "Okay." So he goes away, you know, and he's like really just like sitting at his desk for a long time, and I'm like, "Man, what is he writing?" You know. So he goes, once again, he gives me the rules. Wait till you're home alone, no one around you. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I get home, I open up the little Post-it, and it says porn. And I'm like, okay. So
It's one word.
I type it in on Google, I click on images, and it's a bunch of clip art of like guys looking at magazines with their eyes popping out. And I was like, this
Oh
sucks.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So it was on a Friday, so I had to wait till Monday to tell him. And I was like, yeah, dude, that sucked. And
Porn?
he's like,
That one? Cringe.
yeah, that one sucked, dude. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's just a bunch of cartoon guys like opening up magazines like this. It was stupid." And he's like, "No, you got to turn off Safe Search." And I'm like, "What's Safe Search?" So he wrote down instructions on how to turn off Safe Search. And he's like, "Look this up, and then search it again. And I was like, all right. So I followed his rules, and then my innocence left my body that evening. It was just
naked cartoon men holding magazines.
I typed in porn. I typed in porn. It turned off Save Search, and then just dicks and boobs and ass on my screen, and I was just like freaking out. I was like, "This is insane! There is really everything on the internet." So
It really is.
I was like blown away. I come back to him, and he's all like, I just showed him something cool. You know, he has that stance when I walked into school, when I walked into class. He's like, "So, what'd you think of that one?" And I was like, that was pretty mind blowing. And he's like, "So I gotta explain something. Our computer's broken." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "We can't access that." And I was like, "Okay." I didn't know about parental controls as a kid.
The
Our
archives.
computer's broken.
So he's like, "Yeah, our computer's broken. Can you do me a big favor?" And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "If I give you $5, will you print me 5 pictures?" And I was like, "Sure, man." And he's like, "But of porn." And I was like, "Okay." Just anything? Is it free range?
Football.
And he's like, "No, I have requests." And I'm like, "Okay." So he runs, and he has like this already like planned out. It's in an envelope, and it's sealed.
Oh
He hands
my
it to me.
gosh.
I open it, and it's literally just like boobs, butt, women in boots.
Boobs and butt.
In boots.
As a kid, I was like, "That's weird, but okay." But now as an adult, I'm like, dude, this guy had like a leather kink. I didn't even know about it.
Yes,
I was like,
that was like that guy I worked with at the Mariners who like kept telling me like fantasies about me and was like,
Ew.
"Oh, you should
It's a
come to
little
work in
different.
like these leather boots." And like he sent me a picture of this girl like covered in maple syrup who kind of
Alright.
vaguely resembled me,
All
and
right.
like
Gross.
was like rolling around in hay and like was with pigs
With
and was
maple
like, "You
syrup?
Yeah, and she was like, "You should do
Gross.
this."
What?
Yeah.
gross.
Farms don't have syrup. That's inaccurate.
Yeah, and he's like, last night I had a dream that you
have to
were
go to
with
the
the pigs,
supermarket."
and you got stuck in the molasses, and you were rolling around in the molasses, and you were sinking, and you had to grab onto me to get out of the molasses, and I was
That's
like,
actually disturbing.
That is
yeah,
horrible.
I was so,
That's
yeah,
absolutely
I was
horrible.
So scared.
Much less innocent than Nick's story, I must say.
Yeah. I'll wrap this up. I promise.
No,
There's like 5 more
you're good,
minutes.
you're
But
good.
like, yeah. So he
5
gives me the
more
list. You remember when we used to print stuff as kids and we didn't know about like resizing and stuff, so it would just print in like the corner of the full sheet of paper.
Yeah.
I always knew.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So I printed out
I
like
didn't.
literally like document-sized things with like the smallest
Yeah,
little
and it's
pixel
Oh my
image,
gosh.
and I'd give it to him, and he'd be like, "Dude, bro, this is so hot." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." And every week he would come with me. He would come at me with requests, and he'd be like, "Okay,
Every week he would what? Sorry.
come on me." No, so
Alright.
he'd give me a little like a list every week, and he'd be like, "Can
In
you print this?
church?
Can you print this? Can you print this?" And it was $5 each time, and I was like, "Dude, yeah, money. I'm making money." So
Wow, I'm
I'm
surprised
seeing
he had.
Ruby.
I'm
I'm
surprised the
making
kid
money.
has all that money.
hold on.
How old were you again?
So this is 5th grade. So how old are you in 5th grade? Like 8, 9?
10, I think.
10?
Yeah. Third
11,
grade,
I
you're
don't know.
8. Yeah. So 10.
I don't know, around there. It was 5th grade, but
22.
So, so little time passes, and it's been like months, and I'm doing this weekly. So our home computer, it's starting to run out of ink, and I'm like,
Oh.
ugh. And my parents are like, "Have you been printing stuff?" And I'm like,
No.
"No,
Definitely not
No.
boobs and butts, I'll tell you
no,
that.
I don't know what you're talking about." So I literally tell them, I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Well, the paper's going down too. Are you like doing essays?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what's going on."
No. No.
Oh,
And
boy.
clearly they're like, "Well, our paper's running out and we're having low ink, so something's going on." And I'm like,
There's a ghost.
"I don't know, dude." So I start like telling him like, "Dude, I'm gonna have to cut you off," and he's like freaking out. He's like, "No, you gotta keep doing this, bro." And I'm like, "We're kind of running out of ink. We're kind of running out of paper. It's becoming like a chore to do this. I'm gonna cut you off." And he's like, No, dude. I've given you so much money. Every week I give you $5.
No
And
kidding.
I'm like, "It's not gonna do it. Like, sorry." So he pulls out like $10 this time. He's like,
Oh,
"Please,
pulls out a
please,
gun."
please." Doing. So he gives me $10. He's like, "Please, please, please." And I'm like, "No,
You're
no,
like
no."
10
He pulls out
smackaroos.
another 10. And he's like, "Please,
Oh
please,
my
please."
god.
What
And
the
I'm like,
fuck?
"All right, $5 or 5 pictures for $20, dude. Okay, fine. But this
This
is
kid's
it."
addicted.
And so
No kidding.
he really was.
So Nick
And
draws it for the whole afternoon.
Hold on. So I go, I print those, and he's like, "Oh, you're so great." And then the next week, he's like, "All right, bro." And I'm like, dude, please, I have to cut you off. And he's like, dude, just please, just another time. I've given you so much money. And I'm like, hey, man, like, just, it's too much. I'm annoyed. I'm over it. And he's like, please, dude, please, please, please. And it's like, I'm good. And I was like trying to like see if he would give me like more money again like the last time.
Well
and he's
done.
like, I've given you so much money. Can you just give me a freebie? And that's when I was like, no, I'm not doing that. No,
No freebies.
No dice. No.
What the fuck you think me for?
He's all
I'm
mad.
Nick the porn dealer.
So he's all mad. And we go up on our days, and he's like not talking to me, but like he's still kind of cool with me because he doesn't have a lot of friends. It's Christmas break now, and we're about to just leave. And he's like, give me your mom's phone number, and I'll give you my mom's phone number, and then we'll hang out during Christmas break. It's innocent, Daniel. Stop making that face.
Yeah.
That's not what I was
Daniel didn't have
thinking.
friends, so he never
Sorry.
knew you were supposed to give
Give
each
your
other
mom's phone number.
parents'
Daniel's
number.
like,
Whoa!
Hey, can I have your mom's phone number?
All the talk about out.
I'm gonna ask her for some ink.
So we're on Christmas break, and it's literally the last day right before we leave, and he's like, I know you won't print any, but I know that you doodle in class. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can you just draw some? And then that's it. I promise I won't bug you anymore. And I was like, you want me to draw some?
Oh my god.
And he's like, just like draw like 5 things, and then like that's
5
it.
things.
And I'm like, all right, man, I'll do that. Because, like, I'll draw it, whatever. I'm not using ink. It's fine. So,
This is
I
the
go-
start of his animation career.
go-
I love
home.
this. I love this. When you get on Cartoon Network someday, this is like your starting
This is
story.
my
This is how you
origin.
got it.
I go home, and I'm like, it's Christmas break. I can relax. And then I'm like, man, I got to draw those pictures for him. So I open up my notebook, and I start going to town, just drawing cartoon boobs. And I'm like, dude, this is great. I'm an artiste. Then my mom walks in. And I heard her walking up the stairs, so I quickly jammed the notebook underneath my drawers. And I'm like, okay, she won't find it. Mom walks in, and she's like, hey, I just got off the phone with so-and-so's mom. They want to come tomorrow, so your room has to be cleaned today. And I'm like, I have a jammed notebook of cartoon boobs underneath my drawers. This is a dilemma. So, the first thing she does is she's like, well, we got to move everything and make sure there's no dust anywhere. And she starts moving, like, the furniture in my room, and I'm like, there's an old
Sweating.
notebook just on the floor. So I was like, how do I get out of this predicament? And I'm literally just trying to distract her, like, hey, did you order pizza for tonight? And just saying, like, dumb stuff. And she's like, I cooked dinner. What are you talking? You know, stuff like that. I'm literally just trying to get her out of my room. And she's like, give me the broom and the dustpan from downstairs. So I'm like, dude, if I leave her alone, she's just gonna. In my head, she's just gonna rip apart my room and find it. Like, she knows.
Takes a
So
knife
I'm
to the leather seat.
So I'm like, dude, I have to run as fast as I can, get the broom, get the dustpan, come back up, and then somehow get it away from her before she finds it. I run downstairs, I open up the closet, and before I could even grab the broom, she yells out my full name, screaming it. Bloody murder.
Yeah.
My heart sinks to my ass, and I'm like, that's it. I'm going to die. That's it. She's gonna kill someone. She's gonna be on the 5 o'clock news. That's it. I'm gonna die. I go back upstairs. She's holding the notebook.
Oh. And she's like, can you draw me more of these for 20
He's like,
bucks?
these are really good.
Hey, son, these are solid.
You've got a future, son.
She's like, what is this? And I just start crying.
No, Bobby.
Literally, like, on the front page is like a guy, like, with his, like, arms up.
Oh,
The girl's just, like, jerking him off.
Oh, Nick. Nick.
Like, that's what was in the pictures that I had to print.
She's like, what is this? What the fuck is this?
So I start crying, and she's like, what is this? And I'm like, it was for insert name here. And she's like, what? And she's freaked. There's so much that she doesn't know where to begin. So I literally
She's like, he's not coming over tomorrow now.
I just break down. I'm just like, I've been printing him pictures for months now, and I'm just explaining, like, yeah, he sends me lists, and I just print them for him.
Oh my gosh.
And
I hope you
she's just
explained
like-
this as a child, not like... She doesn't
Yeah.
know the age of the person you're describing. You're just saying, like, he keeps
No, she
sending
knew-
me envelopes
No, she
sealed.
knew
He
it-
sends me requests. And she's like, what the fuck?
No, she knew it was the kid that was coming over.
Okay,
the next
good.
day. So she's like, now she's mad because she has to call his mom and explain,
Oh,
like,
man.
hey, your son
Deborah. Hey.
kind of doing some things, you know.
boobs.
So she goes off into the other room. She calls him, and she has the phone on speaker, and you could hear the mom like yelling at the kid, and you could hear him crying, like scream crying, and then you
hilarious.
hear. And I'm like just like freaking out. Like,
Dude, don't do that to him. He's probably into it.
My
he probably
boy.
saw that.
Yeah,
in
with
the
the
porn.
leather.
Yeah.
You just hear him on the phone. You just hear like, stop.
Stop
You're
harder.
like,
I mean,
okay.
stop.
Oh.
No, he's like, mommy. No.
So finally, she gets off the phone and she's like, "Just how many did you print for him?" And I'm like, "I gotta do the math." And like,
Let me
she
get on my
sat me
Excel
down.
document.
She sat me down. And I had to like roughly do the math, and it was like, I don't know,
That's
3
when you
months.
realized
How
you
many?
wanted to be an engineer.
How many?
I forgot already, but it's weekly for like 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Do the math. I'm too lazy. But yeah, it was just a bunch, and
So 12 weeks, like 5 pictures each, you think?
yeah.
So 60 pictures. Well done. And you made a lot of money, it sounds like. I mean, that's hilarious.
So,
my God.
so you guys want to know where the money was coming from? That was
Yes.
his lunch money. He wasn't eating. And I always wondered, like, man, he doesn't eat like a
For
lot.
4 months.
He would bring
What?
like crackers.
That makes the $20. So he's like $5. 1 meal, 2 meals. Fuck, I won't eat for a week. I just need booze. I'm gonna get
No, he
evicted.
was
I'm gonna
literally-
get evicted. I'm gonna get evicted.
No,
Someone's like,
remember.
"What's he
I
saying?"
remember sitting at his table, and he would like eat crackers, and I'm like, man, that kind of blows. And I never put 2 and 2 together. Like, I was taking his lunch money, and I don't think his
So
mom.
you're a real dealer.
Yeah, I was legit. I was like, dude, like he's suffering because of me. I
He
never put
legit
that
had an
together.
addiction.
Oh, he did that
Yes.
to himself. That was
Yes.
not your fault.
And I was just like, I didn't think of that, but I didn't tell.
Gosh.
I didn't tell my mom that like he was paying me, so she thought that this was all free. So I got a majority of the money until his mom brought up like, yeah, that was his lunch money that he was giving you. And then my mom's like, "Where's the money?" And I'm like, "Fuck."
Where's the money, son?
Which I didn't spend it yet, but like still like $60
Son,
as
is
a
that-
kid, or that wasn't $60. It was.
Is that
I
where you got that new tricycle outside?
Hey, where'd you get the new
The
computer?
new diamond studded.
Where'd you get all this computer ink?
Oh my gosh.
No, so I literally
Supply and demand.
I had to give back half the money. I wasn't honest about
Half?
the money. I know. Yeah, because I was like, I still want some of the money. This is come on.
Oh. I thought you meant your mom was like, yeah, you can give him half his food back.
No. She was like, give me all the money, and I'm like,
Gotcha.
Sure, yeah, this is how much
Sure.
she gave.
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
see him during Christmas break. I was grounded from the computer for a year. I couldn't use the computer, and then
Understandable.
after a year, they put parental controls, so my computer was also
Damn.
broken.
Broken.
So then you
Damn,
took
that
another child
sucks.
under your wing and the cycle continued.
It's a 3-step process. to get to-
My friend's 16th birthday, I like brought over Cards Against Humanity, but I printed it all off from like the library, so it was just like a bunch of like free paper I was using over a couple days, and then I was like, all right, here's a bunch of cards, I'll cut them out, and I gave them to my friend so we could play at her party. And then like I was like, do you want to keep these? And she's like, heck yeah. And I was like, your mom's really strict, like is she gonna be pissed if she finds this? Because she finds like everything in this girl's room, and she's like, no, I cut like a slit into my mattress and I'm gonna hide it in there. And me and my friend also wrote her like a fanfic and like drew a picture of like her and this like person from Supernatural that she was really into, right? So we made that for her, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna like hide all that in my bed, right?
Man, you guys are
And
the
then,
OGs.
like,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
hide it in my
yeah.
ass.
for her. That's crazy.
And then like I don't know, 2 months later, like my mom gets a call from her mom because they were actually friends when they were in elementary school through high school. So she calls my mother and she's like, yeah, your daughter's not invited to her 17th birthday. And I was like, what
17th?
happened? Yeah, I was like,
17. Jeez.
I thought this was like 13.
no, I said
Fucking hell.
16th. Yeah, this mom was ridiculous, right? Like, we played Cards Against Humanity all the time, and her mom never wanted her to, and she found the Cards Against Humanity cards and was like, I saw that there was doing blow off of a clown's, like, boner, and I don't want her around her anymore. And I'm like, dude, this is my best friend. I'm sorry, but she is not innocent.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what happened? What did your mom say?
Oh, my mom was like, what did you do? And then I told her, and she was like, oh, that's stupid. Like, and I came to her birthday anyways the next year, so.
Mom's fuming.
And we, like, brought her, like, a bunch of jars of pickles. Like, everybody brought her, like, 5 jars of pickles just
Hold
to, like,
on.
inconvenience her mom. Like, pickles.
What? I'm sorry. That's how you inconvenience
Fuck with their
people?
mom.
Yeah.
So
and
there
then,
was
like,
no real reason for them. People were just bringing pickles for no reason.
I don't know, she liked pickles. And then, I remember getting her, like, some, like, body lotion stuff that she wanted. And
Pickle
then, like,
body lotion.
No, and then this one girl was like, oh, where'd you get that? Blah, blah, blah. I was looking for that one. And I was like, oh, actually, it's on sale right now. You should get it. It's a great deal. And then this one rich girl who's, like, her friend was like, did you just say you bought your gift on sale? Why would you say that? That is classless. And I was like, I'm sorry. I was trying to help out another person.
Jesus.
Why would you
Yeah.
ever say you bought anything
That girl's a
on
model
sale?
now, so good.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
Who
She's got like
cares?
5 cars.
She'll be in a Darman video soon enough.
Doorman, you're
karma.
so cool.
Yeah. Fantastic. You know how you were saying, like, that age when you were looking at the porn stuff? I had a friend when we were, like, in 7th grade. He was like, why are all the girls in these videos, like, so much older than us? Like, why can't I find girls my age in these? So he Googled, like, porn, like, 13-year-olds. No! And they got, like, a warning from the FBI on his computer. And he was like, you're being tracked, blah, 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 blah. And he was, like, freaking out. He closed his blinds every day after school. He was...
Like, the FBI's just driving past
Yeah, like,
his
actually,
house.
he thought it was, like, they were being, like, monitored, like, in real life, not in the computer.
So good.
I didn't know. So the FBI actually does track that stuff?
Child porn?
I don't know. I've never Googled
Well,
it.
like
Yeah,
searches from anybody, I guess. I mean, good, but
I
I'm
would-
I mean, he-
I would
I'm
assume
surprised
so.
you got a warning from the FBI. That seems
He was watching videos
way
with
official.
children in them, so...
I don't think he was. I feel like that's just like a warning.
Yeah.
With the FBI, I don't know. I never really thought of this.
Oh well, now I'm thinking about it. Like what
Don't
does a
Google
letter
it.
from the FBI look like?
I don't
Does
know.
the FBI show up when you look up 13-year-old porn? Door opens.
No.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
SWAT comes in.
Dude, one time we got, like, a warning from something tracking us. Not, like, the FBI or anything, but my brother downloaded, like, Animal Crossing and, like, Breath of the Wind
I
onto his
animal
computer.
porn. I was like,
No.
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 Your brother
I
did
think
what
PETA
now?
sent you that email.
No. Not that. Not that.
Wait, so can you continue? He got a warning from what one?
I don't know, something said, like, they were tracking us, and then, like, it removed the stuff from our computer, and they were like, you've been illegally downloading things. And I was like,
Oh, from the
bro.
internet service?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
The internet services do that?
I got that like last
Yeah.
week because I torrented like a Jackass movie.
Nick's like, I get those on a
What?
weekly basis, dude. What?
They
No,
still
what-
do that?
Yeah, because my VPN was off, and I was like,
Damn it.
whatever. Dude, I'm lazy. I'm not gonna do whatever.
Wow,
I'm
I didn't
fine.
know these things existed.
So I torrented
Daniel never
like
does
Jackass
anything
2.
naughty.
Yeah, I torrented the movie, and then I got an email from Xfinity, and they're like, "Hey, delete the file." And I was like, "I'm
Yeah,
not gonna delete
yeah,
it."
that was like what happened with us. Yeah, okay, same here.
Oh,
my mom
you
was
mean
pissed.
you illegally downloaded it? You mean?
Yeah, I torrented
Yeah.
Okay.
the movie.
I thought you meant you tore into it like you were making a video, like making fun of it. And I was like, why do they care?
No.
Hey,
no,
take down your video. It's not
no,
funny.
on a torrent site. I downloaded the
Gotcha.
file.
Yeah, I was
Gotcha.
like, John,
Pay for
why'd
it.
you use one of those sites? Like, use one of the better ones. Like, that's on you for being stupid. So
Yeah, I didn't
Wow.
use like Pirate Bay. I used some like freemovies.com, and I was like,
Oh.
that's fine.
That'll do it. That's
I'm
hilarious.
yeah,
I'll be safe.
I'll be safe. That's so funny.
When I
Yeah.
the first time I was so shocked. I remember when I was in middle school that I was like, wait, you can illegally download music? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I've been buying my MP3 player music for years.
You were buying MP3 music?
I was buying music for an MP3 player from like
I
Apple
thought every
Music.
child had the collective experience of just illegally downloading music
Yeah,
for
me
MP3
too.
players.
Like,
We
onto
had
an
like
iPod.
a family computer, but we didn't use it for like the internet for like a long time. I don't know. We just never. I don't know. I was very late into discovering this. Like the first time I discovered like you can download videos from like YouTube from other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was doing it for making videos because I was in.
Daniel!
Like, what?
Daniel!
What?
You discovered it when you were making videos?
That means you were
Not
like,
recently.
over 20.
I mean, like when I was
honestly.
no. I meant like I was in middle school. Like when I when I was in like
I thought you were like a
2 years
content
ago.
creator.
yeah,
I was
when
like,
I was
dude.
in like 8th grade or something. Like that's when I kind of started like making videos in school, and like I was like, I want this sound effect for Movie Maker, you know. And it's like you'd have to figure out like how do I was like, how do I download it, you know? So
Dude, that was the hardest thing figuring out, like, when you first learned about that. Like, I was like,
Where
how do
not
I
to
get this
click.
sound to clap? I want funny fart noise.
Funny fart sound effect
Funny
four.
fart sound
yeah,
effect for-
exactly.
This was back in the
Fart
day
soundboard.
when our technology teacher was like, "Well, you don't need to do any of that." She gave me a four CD pack of sound effects. She was like, "Here, just take them from this." So it was just me at home that night listening to like 2 hours of like
Boing.
like 2 hours of Scooby-Doo sound effects just drooling out of my mouth.
Those sound effects are, like, classically humorous to me. Like, I still find them funny. They're just so stupid.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to buy Halloween sound effect CDs. I didn't use them, and they just amused me. He was always like,
using
woo,
Lively.
woo, like you said, and I was like, whoa, that was a good treat.
Yeah, I had one of those. I played it at, like, a Halloween party. Like, my birthday's, like, a week before Halloween. So, like, a lot of the time I'd have, like, a Halloween birthday party. And I
That's
was, like,
funny.
like, playing in the background. Ambiance. Yeah.
The
And
weird
we'd have,
thing
like,
is,
the witch's cauldron, you know, with, like, the punch, and you'd put the dry ice in it, and it had, like, a little light in it. I love that. That
adorable.
was the best.
Yeah, I make weekly trips to the ER. It's get my sound effects there.
More
No biggie.
content.
More content. Did I ever tell you about the most recent time I was in the ER? I forget
When
which
you were
episode
dying?
that happened
you
in
didn't,
between.
You
I've
didn't
been a
tell-
few times.
I've been when you were, like, bleeding from every
You
orifice.
vaguely like talked about it, but you can talk about it here.
I don't really know how much of a story there is to it. It sucked though because to give a little backstory, a year ago, like to the day, I didn't know it was a year ago. It's this really, it's not a coincidence. This was destiny. But I mean, a year ago, I was in the emergency room because I had COVID like a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or something recent, and I had like breathing problems. It was really weird. Never felt anything like it. It was like all of a sudden my brain powered off and I just like couldn't remember how to breathe.
You were fainting.
No, like I couldn't remember how to breathe. I just remember standing there and I was like, I'm not breathing in or breathing out. And I was like, hello? I was like, what do I do? And then like it came back and I was like, that was weird. And then it happened again. I was like, okay, I need to go to the emergency room, I think. So
Those
I don't
memes where they're like, you are now breathing manually.
I'm giving myself CPR. I'm just tube like, survive. But anyway,
You forget which Bee Gees song it is.
Good girls like that. I'm bruising myself here. Goodness.
I know, I'm so hot hitting myself.
No, but so if I was like with my family or something, like it wouldn't have been that bad because I was by myself. I'm imagining like, you know, like every like procedural cop dramas, someone like hits their head on the counter and they're dead, and I was like, that's not gonna be me. I'm going to the emergency room. And long story short, I was there for 13 hours before I was even like seen. It was overnight, and I couldn't sleep because I kept having these breathing things, and it was terrible. Anyway, so that was a year ago. So, and I was like, I'm never going back. The hospital called me like several times, and they're like, we just want to talk to you about your experience or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, it was terrible. If I told her straight, I was like, if I am dying, I will go out of my way to go to a different emergency room. I would rather die in the street than in your hospital because at least I'll be found if I'm in the street. And she was like, all right, got it. Well,
Great.
nice.
Okay, have a good day.
Once what I found out was when I started complaining about it, because this is when I was bigger on social media, like people like came back and they were like, is this SSM from St. Louis? Like, apparently this hospital is super shitty.
Notoriously poo-poo.
Yeah, but they're not like poor. Like, it's not, I wouldn't make fun of a hospital if they didn't have the resources. Like, they clearly have the resources, but like someone up top is not, it's not the nurse's fault. They're just being spread way too thin. Anyway, so this time around, I was getting an MRI, so nothing close to the emergency room. But I kept learning different things. Like they were like, oh, it's a different MRI. Like you can't eat anything for like 6 hours before or drink anything. I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, oh, and we're gonna give you like the fluid they give you when you take I forget what you call that, but the see-through liquid whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I went in to get it, and to do the liquid they have to give you an IV, and I've got really, really bad rolling veins, so they usually can never get a stick on me. Like I've gotten stuck 7 times before for an IV, and they couldn't get the vein, so I just walked out. But but I've never passed out ever in my life. I've gotten super close. Like they've had to put me on the floor before and fan and washcloth and all that stuff, but I never truly passed out, which I've been proud of myself for. This time they got it on the one stick, but he like dug around for it and he kind of nicked something, and my blood pressure dropped immediately. And I knew 2 minutes before I was like, I'm gonna pass out. And it's like they were helping me through it and fanning and put my seat back and all that stuff. But this time I actually did pass out, and I was pissed. Anyway. I came back and
you sent us a picture and we could see like the life draining from your eyes, and you're like, I'm in the hospital, guys, and we're like, are you okay? And then you didn't respond for like 12 hours, and we're like,
yeah,
no.
So the story behind that was, so I got back out of the passing out, and they were like, can you do the MRI? And I was like, I'm just gonna be sitting there, so I guess. And I was fine during the MRI, nothing would happen. I got done and I like started to kind of sit up. And that's when I took the picture. I was like weak, but I was like eating a juice box, and I was like,
eating a juice box.
I wonder why I passed out. No, but here, have some juice, buddy. It's gonna be. Oh my gosh, code red.
He's lost it.
It sucks.
Give me Capri Sun. No, but anyway, so that's when I took the picture and I sent you guys. I'm like, I'll be out of here in no time. My brother was coming. We were going to go to a movie. And this shows you where my priorities are. And I felt it. I was like, oh, I'm going to get nauseous. I'm going to throw up. And I was like, cancel the movie. I don't want to pay for that. So I'm like going in and out, and I'm like canceling my movie. I'm like, I'm not going to pay $7 for nothing. I did cancel the ticket, so everyone knows. And then right after that, I started... Thank you. Right after that, I started just vomiting my absolute guts out. And this is just after I'd eaten like a little bit of something and like juice.
The juice box.
And the juice box. So it was coming up anyway. And it was bad. And it was like to the point where I like couldn't like pull my head up. I couldn't sit up. And I didn't know what was going on. I was just phasing in and out. And I was it wasn't called SSM. It was a different hospital that was like 5 miles away, or so I thought. They had a different name. And they were like, well, we need to get you to the emergency room. And I was like, I couldn't do anything about it. So anyway, they're wheeling me in there on like that half wheelchair.
Don't take me to that one.
I had PTSD because the door kicks open, and by the door's opening, it's like they shoved my limp body into the door to open it.
You recognize it, and you're like,
and the
no!
door's open, and I was like, oh, fuck. It was like, I'm here. Oh, golly. Everyone was still in the same spots from the last time I was there.
They're still in the waiting room. They're just like skeletons.
I was so upset, and I was just freaking out, but I couldn't move, so I was just like, oh, fuck. And then they just put me in a random corner, and I had to wait till my brother got there. But anyway, so I mean, I was just...
You were on the stretcher in a random corner?
Yeah, so I mean, thank goodness I had a wheelchair, but I was just in a corner. But like, I was the only one that got a wheelchair. I was I was just like turned, whatever... Just like drifting, like spinning on a corner.
Oh my god!
And they were
facing a corner. They just see your back.
Yeah.
Well, there was a point in the night where I started to get better, but they were taking wheelchairs from people that didn't need them as much to give them to people that were like dead. So I was like, they came by to check on me, and I'm like, even though I was doing a little bit better, and I was like, you're not taking this from me. Anyway. So I'm sitting there, and I barely know what the fuck's going on. But, I mean, I never saw anybody. No one checked on me. And at some point, like, I had to throw up again. So I'm in the emergency room. I feel bad. No. I thankfully have, like, a bag. But the funniest part, of course, was, like, I thought I was starting to get a little better. Like, I could sit up. And, like, my brother was there at that point. And I was like, you should probably call Mom and Dad and tell them, like, what we're doing. And so as he was on the phone with them, that's when I was like, oh, that's when I started throwing up. So at the time, my dad was on the phone.
Daniel's okay.
That's what happened. He was like, yeah, Daniel's fine. He's doing okay. And he was like, is that Daniel? No. And he was like, and my brother was like, I'll have to call you back.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was in the emergency room one time because my brother fell off of his bike and broke his arm, and like I was with my cousin, and she got me Wendy's, and I'd never had like a baked potato from Wendy's, and
never had a baked potato before.
Yeah, they had
They had baked potatoes and like Wendy's chili on the potato, and it was mystery meat for sure. That's for sure. So I went to the bathroom. It's coming out of both ends, and I vomited all over the bathroom. The entire bathroom was just coated, and the emergency room people were like, "Are you here for the emergency room? Like, are you okay, little girl?" And I'm like, "No, my brother broke his arm. And then I was just like sitting on the toilet in there, like it was like an island.
She's just
like,
a puke go around. She's literally just spinning in the bathroom, shit and puke coming out of both ends, coating the wall. They're like, "Are you here for the emergency room?"
I'm visiting my brother.
Nobody's possessed.
And then they called maintenance, and it happened to be the hospital my dad works at for maintenance, and it's just both me and my brother in the emergency room.
Wait, so your dad had to come clean it up?
He had to call, like, the custodian people. Like, they thought it was an issue with the sink, like, overflow, or the toilet overflowing or something, but
the sink's overflowing with puke.
Yeah, it was me barfing.
Call Bill.
Bill is my dad's coworker! We hate him!
Why?
He's like 2 inches shorter than me. He's an alcoholic.
Fuck him.
He's an alcoholic. He comes to work drunk every day. He never finishes his work orders, so my dad has to work a lot of extra overtime for him.
Screw Bill.
He says,
we hate Bill on here.
He says that his meds make him smell like alcohol and piss. There are no meds that make you smell like beer and piss. That's just how he smells.
What's your medication? Beer and piss.
Yeah, exactly. I hated when
they make me smell like beer and piss.
But it's not beer and piss. It's my own piss. What?
I also worked at the pharmacy in that hospital. He also smells like a little bit like shit and cigarettes, so like a combination of all those things.
Beer, piss, shit, and cigarettes.
Yeah,
the fact that it's so horrible, but yet so like like unique that you can smell distinctly each one of those things.
Yeah, it's distinctive. It's so
like Gordon
distinct.
Ramsay is reviewing. It's like
yes.
Smell a bit of shit, cigarettes.
Yes. I get a hint of
hint of hint of fuckery. You piece of shit. Smell a bit of laziness.
So I worked at that pharmacy at that hospital, and when I would come in to eat my lunch, I would just stop eating my lunch when I would smell him. Like, I was so repulsed, like, it would ruin my appetite every day. And Bill was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I would just leave and be like, "Oh, gotta get back to my shift, sorry." I hated it.
Bill, I was trying to eat my sandwich, yeah? I was trying to eat my sandwich, and you had to come by with your smelly shit. I can't eat!
Stop doing it, please!
We had this pharmacist who had, like, really bad lactose intolerance, but he would drink milk every day with his coffee. And so I wouldn't eat in that break room because it was really small and you could only fit 2 people in there. And every time I was in there, he would just be ripping ass really loud. And he was, like, this really, like, stoic pharmacist, and he'd just start farting really loud. And then he'd be like, "Tee-hee, sorry." And I'm, like, eating my quinoa, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fine. That's fine."
My God,
we literally had a spray bottle of Febreze on site because of how bad that man's gas was.
The stoic. So. I like how you said stoic pharmacist. So he's just sitting there like, "Can I get you some pills?"
Yeah. And then he was like a really serious guy, and then he would just be farting up a storm. So.
Yeah. Why is my humor the same as a 5-year-old? I hate it. I'm like laughing my ass off here.
Ma'am, here are your cancer meds. I'm sure it'll get better. It's always worse before.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
Poopy scoop. Hope you don't die next week. Hope to see you again next time, Carolyn.
And there was a pharmacist named Carolyn there. Stop! What?
You're joking. You're not. You're making this up.
No, I'm not.
I live in your walls.
She wasn't the farter. She was not the farter.
Your story reminded me of an old math professor I had at Purdue.
No.
He was a farter?
There's this really weird old math professor that always wore flip-flops year-round, even though he wore, like, everything else normally.
Did he brag about it?
No, he just wore them.
Like
even in the wintertime, there'd be snow out, and he'd
That's
come
why
in with
I asked.
his wet flip-flops, and we're like, "Dude, what are you doing? No socks! No socks! Just bare toes!"
Well, you don't wear
He's just outside in the blizzard. He's just like,
you would
nice
think that, like,
out.
it's a blizzard. Wear socks if,
gone to die.
Flip-flops are your thing. But no, he'd come in with his little toesies hanging out.
Little toesies.
So he would be writing on the board, and then he'd just rip ass loud as hell. Like, brrr, like, just massive. And there's this one kid in front of me who'd always go, "Oh," and it always wanted to laugh every
It would go
time.
directly into his mouth every time. He was like in the splash.
No,
That was him gulping.
So
Yeah.
he'd literally write on the board. He went out like loud, like it would last like a couple seconds, and then he'd turn around and just go, and then you go right back to writing.
gosh,
And
ew.
what does that mean? What does that
Ew.
mean, yo?
You'd wink.
It was so gross. I hated that class.
Ew.
Hated that. Why'd you have to wink? Why? Why?
Did anybody ask him?
People were always like talking shit underneath their breath. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with
Fart
this guy?"
plus
But,
math class equals.
no, because
Yeah.
he would rip and then he'd just like look at us and go, and then like he'd smile and go right back to writing.
Winking.
The Pythagorean theorem.
But that class it was an hour and 50 minutes. So you
was
know he'd
stinky.
do that in the beginning, and then I'd want to laugh the entire. I'm not laughing at the fart. I'm laughing more at the kid in front of me going, "Oh." Every time he farted.
It's like the scent is just lingering all of class after that as well.
I
That's
hated
great.
that class. All of my previous teachers, like almost all of them, have been fired.
And you're wearing a shirt repping that school right now?
We've gotten so many complaints of you winking and farting in class. We're gonna have to let you go. And he goes, "All right."
He's like, I'll let
Walks
you
out.
go.
He's like, "Oh, stop!" Oh. No, we have a video of this. We had a teacher that was just, I wasn't in this class, unfortunately. It sounds hilarious.
Oh,
but I know the teacher because I've had other stuff with him. And anyway, my friends were in that class. So he was just, they were in the middle of a test. And all of a sudden the guy just stands up, runs out. And they were like, what? So a friend of mine follows him, like filming him, opens the door and like, he ran out in the open park. He's just running away. He ran out of the building, ran away.
Never to be seen again.
It's just the funniest video. Just Terry, just...
Terry?
70-year-old man just running away. Like
What happened?
I don't
In
know.
like a sweater vest.
No one saw him again?
I don't think they saw him again in that class. I think he was just back the next day, and they were like, Terry, hey. Like,
And he's like, what?
he's
What
just,
was that
yeah,
about,
what about
dude?
it? It's just the funniest video of just watching him run away. Oh my gosh.
What happened? I need to
I
know
don't
what
know.
happened.
And this guy is super kind, too, so I'm like, is this like...
No one asked him? Like, why were you
I
running?
guess not. We never know. We never knew. I don't know.
Give me
You
your
didn't
school's
ask your-
number right now. I'm going to call you.
I should call Terry, honestly. You probably like it.
Remember that day you ran out of class? What happened?
What was that about? My wife
then-
was having an affair.
And he just, like, it's just 7 seconds of silence. He's like, we don't talk about that day.
Don't talk about it.
I know where you
Except the
live. If you
call.
tell anyone, if you share that video anywhere, I swear to fuck, I'm gonna find you. You little bitch. I'm like, what? Terry, oh, gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
And then my other poo-poo school, like I've complained about that school many times. Teachers suck there, a lot
Which
of them.
one?
You want to know what it's called?
Yes.
Green River.
Fuck Green River.
Generic.
This
Green
podcast
River.
is sponsored by Green River.
Well, it's on the Green River. Have you ever heard of the Green River Killer? You've never heard of the serial killer, the Green River Killer?
Now I want to. This has become a serial killer
Google
podcast like
him.
everyone else's.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
He's an infamous serial killer. I'm pretty sure he
Continue.
killed one of my dad's friends when she was in high school.
What?
He killed a lot of like teenage and young women, and one day she went missing and they found her body in the Green River. And they're pretty certain that the Green River Killer killed her, but like there were a lot of people they couldn't tie to him. So Google the Green River Killer right now.
I believe you. No, I'm just
If you
like,
look at
horrified.
him, he's got like those glasses, like the 70s, like
The killer's
rim.
glasses,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like he looks like a serial killer. Like yeah.
Everyone
lot of
looked like a
cereal-
serial killer in the 70s.
A lot of serial killers from my area.
Of course
Like,
there is. I
Yeah,
swear
like
your
Ted
town
Bundy.
is cursed.
Ted Bundy went to UW.
Your life is a Stephen King book. Your land is cursed.
Your
Your
land is
bloodline is damned.
Yeah, like when UW is like, here are our famous alumni, and it's like Ted Bundy. It's like,
Ted Bundy came from your school?
No, I don't go to that school. That's like the one all my friends go to in Seattle.
Oh, Daniel, do you have any
University of
famous
Washington.
alumni of yours?
No, I wish.
No.
That's, again,
Ours-
like, nothing is
the lady-
exciting here.
At our school, the lady who made Skechers came to our school.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
she,
cool.
She graduated from Munster, and then she came back to like give a speech, and everyone was booing her. Skechers suck.
You got dad shoes on, bro. That's so mean. This is also the school that laughed at like swag when they were like, "We have some swag for you guys."
Swag was my college. This was my high school.
My gosh. The high school. It's, oh my gosh.
Skechers
What a bunch of
suck.
shits.
Hey, Skechers fucking suck. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's so good.
That's so funny. I can't imagine. Oh, can you imagine? Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Sad story. Laugh.
Let's see. Famous alumni from UW.
No,
There's
only-
Rainn Wilson, Joe McHale.
Whoa.
It's like all only comedians. Anna Faris.
Let me look
It's
it
like
up. I
only
guarantee
oh,
no
Bruce
one from
Lee. So
What?
Bruce Lee?
You don't remember he was from Seattle? He has a dojo
No.
there. He
Huh.
opened up like his like first.
Yeah, I don't
dojo.
know anything, so.
Daniel's like, I'm so good at memorizing stuff. Like that's how I was good in school. And then he spells like Trevor's name
I
wrong.
told- no, I
every
told you
single
that.
Time. Pronounces my name wrong every single
I'm
time.
sorry.
Like, it's insane.
No, I told you.
Bad
So
friend.
I thought about going in for this because my memory is super weird. It's really good on like script stuff and like for school, like when we're studying, like I can memorize like note cards and stuff, like everything where it is.
Like
You know, like I have
stupid
that
stuff.
different memorized whatever. So I can do that. I remember I can play every single movie I've seen in my head. But I don't remember people's names. I don't remember like my family's ages or their birthdays. Like I have to.
I don't
like,
remember my
keep them-
family's name.
No, I
remember
don't.
my family members.
I've forgotten my own age like a couple times. I've had to do math. I'm like, wait, when was I born? Like,
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
happened to
ugh,
me.
I really should not be forgetting that. Like, I'm a little worried.
That
My
happened to me
brother
at a-
was born in 2000, so he's like, I'll never forget. It's always just the
Nice,
year it
nice.
ends in.
I forgot my own age at a grocery store once, and it was really embarrassing. My mom was like, cash in this lottery ticket for me, and I'm like, okay. So I go in and I give the lady the lottery ticket, and she's like, how old are you? And I was like 17. Oh wait, no, I'm 21. Oh wait, no, I'm like 22. And she's
Dude, that's
like,
been
I
me
can't
lately.
cash this, and I was like, no, I'm 22, and like she called like security.
I swear I'm not 17. Somehow I still feel like I'm like stuck at age 18, and I'm like, wait, am I in my mid-20s
I
now?
thought I
Right,
was 17.
it is.
I'm
That's-
23. Like what?
I do.
Oh,
I
you
keep
never
feeling
told
like
us
I'm,
that
like, around
story,
18.
Nick, about your username.
Oh, you guys want to hear that now?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're always like
Hold on,
97,
really quick,
98. I'm
really
like,
quick.
which year is it?
Really
What's your
quick
word?
before this goes out of conversation, I looked up SIUE famous alumni.
Yeah.
You want to hear how fucking boring ours is? I don't know who these people. Okay, maybe I'm insulting people that are famous. I don't know. Bill
Wow.
Plash, Dwayne Statz, Kathleen Madigan, Ken Flack, Robert Segusa. Who the fuck are these people? No one
Never
exciting
heard
went
of
to our
them.
school. Anyway, continue with your username.
That's all. Yeah, that's what you had to interrupt.
That's all I
for.
had. I just wanted to comment that all the famous alumni here are white, old, boring people.
They sound like made-up names. Like you're like,
they
I have to
probably
interrupt
are.
you to
They
say.
invented the computer, and we're like, oh, they're stupid.
Well, these people are dumb. He's like a list. He's like one of our patrons. He's like, I'm not dumb.
I'm not.
You went to my college, man. Come on.
One of the guy invented podcasts.
The head of iHeartRadio. What the fuck is wrong with you,
Yeah.
dumbass kid? I invented the radio.
He's like, I'm taking this off of here. No podcast for you.
Alexander Graham Bell. What the fuck is this guy?
Never heard of him.
I
guy's
invented the
lame.
telephone.
Oh man.
Knowing
Alright.
I think in our part of the country, it's probably a lot of worse things they invented.
Christ.
They invented a flag.
I invented slavery. Whoa,
I
whoa.
invented white hoods. Huge seller back in the.
Oh my gosh. I invented K cubed. K what?
Yes.
That's what we're calling it now. Shut the fuck up,
Cube.
Bill.
We're new and hip. Shut up, Bill.
Oh, golly. Okay, anyway, your username.
My username.
Once upon a time.
Middle school.
Yes.
So
Flashback.
just transferred schools.
Wee-oo.
Alright. It just transferred schools. And this was the school I was telling you about earlier. I didn't really know anyone. In my class, I had a crush on a girl. And I was like, you know what? She's pretty cute. I'm going to be friends with her. We became
Nice.
friends. Everything was fine. So the school year is coming to an end. And my mom's like, yeah, I don't think we're going to keep you in the school. You're going to transfer schools again. And I was like, ah, what about my wife, you know? So they're like, she's like, yeah, we're gonna take you to a different school, so say your goodbyes,
Oh, that sucks.
get people's phone numbers, everything. And I'm like, well, bummer. How am I
Aw.
gonna pursue my love interest, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we're friends and all. So I asked her like, do you have
Will you
have
marry
a
me?
Facebook? Do you want to have kids?
Now?
You're actually
Tonight?
children.
I just found out about this on the internet. You should Google
Yeah.
this. It's crazy.
You should Google this. You
Here's
know
an
how babies
envelope.
are made?
Don't open it. Google making kids.
Click on videos.
Take off safe search first. Otherwise,
Give
you'll
the
just get
instructions.
storks and shit. Cartoon men looking at magazines with kids on it.
That sounds so creepy. A wooga
I see,
with children
they're
on
making babies in this new issue of Children Making.
Oh, love it here. So I asked my crush, I'm like, hey, do you have like where can I talk to you outside of school? And she's like, well, I have Facebook and then I have Instagram. And I'm like, what's Instagram? And she's like, oh, you just post like pictures of yourself. And I'm like, pictures of her? That's crazy, right? Not a creepy way, but just like I could see her again, right?
I can see her in a bikini? No way.
This is
Pictures
insane.
of you.
So anyway, so she's like, so she
I
goes
love
and
it
she's
when
like,
it does that.
she's like, here's my username. What's yours? And I'm like, oh, I don't have an Instagram. And she's like, well, make one tonight, and then you can follow me. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I was already doing that.
So,
Anti-swag.
one thing I knew about her is that she was born because we were talking about like
She
fun
was
facts.
older?
We were talking about facts about ourselves, and we had to say like what year we were born, what's her favorite color, and what's her favorite food. And when it got to her, she was born in '97, and I was like, I'm born in '98.
I don't want to look like a baby.
I don't want to be a little baby. So I full on lied about my age on social media. I literally put that I was born in '97
Full on.
Facebook, on Instagram, and I think Twitter, but I changed my Twitter handle already. But Instagram is still proof, and Facebook is still proof that I'm apparently a 24-year-old, but I'm 23.
That's
So I
hilarious.
did that in hopes of when I follow her, she'd be like, "Oh, we're the same age now. We can date." She never
That
gave
was
me
like
the
the
time of
logic
day.
of kids back then, though.
No, it
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
was.
yeah,
She never
yeah.
gave me the time of day. We literally like ended our friendship directly when summer started, and I never
Aw.
talked to her again.
Aw.
But recently I was on Bumble. Ooh, right? Cool, crazy. And I saw her.
And then you put your age and you're like, it says 24, but I'm actually 23.
She's like, I would never date you.
I saw her, and
Fucking damn it.
I literally swiped, and I'm like, will it match? And it didn't match. So
Oh yeah.
screw
nice.
you. I'm gonna censor that in post. Whatever, dude. I was so upset. I was like, ah. You know what's I don't mind though is that I was scrolling through like the profile. She has a kid now, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
You know what's crazy though? Like that
Kids?
childhood crush is still like remnant, I guess, because I was like, I can have a kid. Like,
No.
love's crazy. Yeah, no, I didn't match with her. I haven't talked to her since, so whatever.
That's crazy.
I'm totally the opposite. Like everything that didn't work out, like from their end, like I like whatever. You bump into them, you see them, and so anyway, I'm like, oh well, good. Just like- so there's always something. I'm like, well, it's good we learned that back then, because whatever.
I'm so repulsed by like people
I'm so
from
repulsed
my
by
high
how
school
hot they
having
are now.
kids. No, like people my age like having kids and like
Oh
buying
yeah,
a
dude.
house.
Like people are
and I'm
getting
like,
married
how?
and stuff left and right, and
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm making like dumb little videos on the internet. Like,
Yeah, my friends
I have
are
a
like,
podcast.
I'm
Like, it
pregnant,
sucks.
and then I'm like, oh my gosh, you're keeping it? Like I'm forgetting that we're like in our mid
Julianna.
20s now. I know. I'm like, oh shit, dude, what are you gonna do? And they're like, I'm keeping it, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
We've been
That's
trying.
awful.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
"Oh, that's not what you were like in high school, bro.
I had been to 8 weddings by the time I was out of high school of like my friends or people younger than me. I mean, and it still continues. I mean, I went to school and I like looked after kids in middle
Engaged
school.
last week, so
What'd you say?
God.
one of my cousins that's younger than me got engaged last week, so Mormon. So
Thanks. That makes
Precursor.
a difference.
yeah, it does make a difference.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
like
now I
one-
hate
year
them.
from now on.
Huh?
Is that what
Mormon.
happens with Mormons? Is that the Mormons that do that? Like
Say
a
it
kid
again.
every year?
Oh, ew.
They're-
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, no, they have so many kids.
Yeah,
like-
they have like a lot of kids, and they all have trampolines. Did you know
a
this?
very
This is
weird
like, this is like a
follow-up.
scientific proof fact.
So that way, when you have the kid, you'll launch him off into the next yard.
I don't know, but like
Boing.
people take like aerial shots of Mormons' yards, and they always have trampolines. I don't know what like the lot,
Utah.
It's hiding.
my cousin
no, no, no.
does.
It's hiding. It's
All of
hiding. It's
Utah's
hiding
just
a bomb
bouncing.
shelter. It's hiding something that's in the ground. I'm being serious. People do that to hide stuff from aerial views of something that's like in the ground.
There's like a Mormon underground community. They're like mole people. Are you telling me something?
They have
Mormons?
oh
the
my gosh.
Mormons?
The double
The
M's.
Mormons?
The M&Ms.
Mormons!
Dude.
Molmans, I'm crying.
We just confirmed it. Oh my gosh, this isn't a conspiracy theory.
Dude, we
This
gotta
is
hit
real.
up like a documentary person or
Oh
something.
my gosh, of
Yeah.
Molmans. I want in
Dude.
immediately. I could definitely fit into their world undercover.
Let's call InfoWars.
That's true. That's hilarious.
Get him on there. My phone autocorrects Mormon to moron every time. It's not a joke. It does
That's
it every
hilarious.
time. And I'm always like, my
What's
Mormon.
the difference?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, my Mormon cousins.
Android
and then-
savage.
Yeah, and then it autocorrects to moron cousins, and my friends are like, which ones? And I'm like, oh.
The Mormons.
Mormons.
My phone always corrects Mormon to Molman. I don't know what's going on with that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Conspiracy?
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh my gosh, make it stop. I've always wanted to see that musical. What's the Book of Mormon? Isn't that what it's called? People say it's
it's really
hilarious.
funny.
I know nothing about it, but it sounds
I just
really
know it's
good.
When
made
it's
by
by
the
the makers
creators
of South Park.
Yeah.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
really? Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds good.
Words
There you
in my
go.
mouth.
That sounds like
Yeah.
things are probably handled with, respect.
They were Mormon, the creators of South Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've made episodes about it. Like, all the Mormon kids at my high school were, like, what you consider Jack Mormons. Like, they were,
Consider what
super
Mormons?
Jack Mormons.
Oh, they said jacked Mormons, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, they,
Can I...
You want to talk about our Lord and Savior, brother?
Talk about a Lord and Savior, brother.
they, like, rip, like, the Bible, like, with their bicep. Like, the pages just start ripping.
Rip it in half.
Did I tell you
Yeah.
about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Yeah. They...
Oh my gosh. He ripped my cock off.
Oh my god, no!
Oh my gosh. No.
They don't say the Lord's name in vain, Nick. So...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They said gosh.
They say gosh golly. They,
I'm saying the person
Gee,
opening the
dang
door
it.
and seeing all that. They're like, oh my god, no! Slam it.
they were always super into partying and they were like crazy, and now it's really weird seeing them like on missions and like, you know, they're wearing like the white shirts and like they have kids. Like immediately after we graduated, it was like boom married, boom babies, and like I was like, remember when you gave like the entire football team like a blowjob? Like that was crazy. You're having babies now? Like
All
what
right.
the hell?
That's crazy.
She's
Does
like,
it
yeah, I
happen at
kept
my
it.
high
We have
school?
12 kids now.
Yeah, Mormons believe like kind of like the more kids you have, like the closer it brings you to God. Like
That's what it is. They say
you
like
go
as
to,
long
like,
as you can
terrest-
have them, you're gonna keep on doing them.
Yeah, yeah. There's
them.
like a belief
Keep on
like
doing 'em.
you go to a different
Okay.
astral state or something like that. It's like you basically become the god of your own planet, and your family will be there with all your kids and your
Yeah.
descendants. So like the more kids you
okay,
have, the more
Mormons.
populated
should-
your planet is. It's crazy.
Sorry,
It's
welcome back to the Mormon Hour.
weird. Yeah.
We've been on Mormonism for the past 15 minutes.
Dude, my dad was Mormon. I told
you
you he
said
got
this,
kicked out of
yeah.
the Mormon church because
That's so
he-
funny.
He slept with like the bishop's daughter or whatever. So like yeah, he got kicked out of like my family's house, and they were like, "You don't deserve to carry the Lively name." And he's like, "I was adopted anyways."
Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack there. So much. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's insane. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
I remember when my mom like met my dad. They met like on a blind date. Like my mom had a craving for onion rings, so she went to Jack in the Box, and my dad was working there, and one of her friends also worked there, and she was like, "Oh, you think that drive-through guy's cute?" And then she's like, "Yeah, what's his name? Like Carlos or something?" And it's like, "No, it's Floyd. He's like this like brown guy, and it's like Floyd Lively is his name. He's raised by Mormons, bunch of blonde and like ginger people, and his dad, even though he was like the whitest guy, his name was Carlos." Very
That's my
interesting
best
fa-
friend's name, and he's black.
Really?
So like, I'm Nicholas. Like, dude, come on.
I'm
They have a more
Nicholas.
Mexican name than I do. Come on. What is this?
Nicholas.
I am very ethnic.
Senor?
You have no idea how many times I've heard people say that.
Señor Pequeños.
I wish I remembered Spanish. I'm pissed. I wish. I took 4
How
years of
many
it, and I
years?
ended up. I mean, I was
don't
past the
remember
point of
any
my
of it?
brain putting 2 and 2 together, and then like if you don't keep practicing it after that, if you're not like fully in it, then it's just gonna fall away. I still have my Spanish book though, because she gave me
Practice
one.
it.
Yeah, I need to. I do, because I used to be good at
All
like.
right, we're gonna be doing this podcast only in Spanish from now on.
Yeah, it's Hispanic Heritage Month,
starting
right?
now.
So it's
Hola,
a
¿qué
good-
tal? ¿Cómo estás? Yo soy Nicolás Lively. Señor Pequeños.
Me llamo Señor. Me llamo Señor Pequeños.
Mira, no digas nada porque
me-
tú no sabes leer, ¿ok?
Ok, sí.
Sí.
¿Qué?
Yo también queso.
What? ¿Qué?
Yeah, same, cheese.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Hola, soy Dora. That's so disturbing.
Dude, I
That was
watched
my
Dora
one-
so much as a kid. Why don't I know more Spanish?
I hated Dora.
Yeah.
She wouldn't like respond to my responses fast enough. Where's the
The
mountains?
that's all the incels. I hate Dora.
And she's like, where?
She doesn't respond to my messages.
No, but like, dude,
I
you
know,
don't
I
need
know.
like 20 seconds for a "Where's the mountains" question.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I was
I'm not
how
gonna
s-
go-
How slow are the other kids? The mountain.
I believe now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the upper right corner, there's a vague imprint of a mountain.
Of a dick.
That's
There?
not-
Yeah, right. Like, dude, no, it's just there.
To my right. Is swipe around my right? Your left. Fuck you. You know what? Let the fox eat you, fucking bitch. I don't even care anymore. On my left.
You completely clipped out any audio.
No, I didn't say anything.
I was like, dude, he blew out his mic.
I know. I was like, oh my god.
Almost a quote también. He's completely rebooted.
He's speaking
Press
German
1.
now.
Estoy observado. Lo claro de Señor Pequeños. I don't know anything. I was trying to remember a song I used to know that was in Spanish, and I've completely forgotten it now.
Estas hoy los mañanitas.
There you go. Okay, you mentioned last time you had some spoopy stories. I don't remember if I said I had one or not, but did anyone have one, or do we want to save those for Halloween
I
episode?
think I'll save him for a Halloween.
I'll save
episode.
one.
Since
I was
we're
in
already-
the car
we're
with my
in-
brother, and I was like, "You want to be on the podcast and tell some scary stories?" And he's like, "I don't have any." And I was like, "What about that one with the angel?" And then he's like, "Ah."
Eh?
What are you talking about, Say?
What are you
Yeah.
talking about, huh?
And dude, my brother, it was so weird that night. He was like, "Was there just an earthquake, guys?" And we're like, "No." And then 2 hours later, there was an earthquake, and we're like,
What?
He was a psychic that night. The angel gave him psychic abilities.
Beautiful. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes.
What? What?
Just the sentence, the angel gave him psychic abilities. That is just so like,
As
out
one,
there.
it's just like Gabriel did to Mary. It's
He
how it happens in the Bible.
Hey, listen,
Hey Mary, listen.
you're gonna be a huge corporate holiday.
biblically accurate angels.
Yeah,
know, like,
wasn't that
remember-
a meme?
Yeah.
I just thought, I'm sorry, I gotta get this out of the way. Like Mary and Joseph, they're looking for like a place to have the kid, and like they're going to like different places, and they're like, "Hey, do you guys have a vacancy?" And they're like, "No, it's Christmas." And they're like, "It's what?"
Damn it. Fucking Tim.
We're busy this time of year.
No, that's how what do you call it? Like that's how what do you call it? Not fooling around that we were. Is that Vine came out of like and I brought you murder, you know? And I heard that the first time, and I was like, Judas didn't come around till Jesus was 32. What is this shit? He wasn't a baby.
Accurate. He was a baby then. They
He
were
was a
both
baby.
babies.
Typing it madly into my keyboard, and somehow that goes to Vine.
Vine.com.
Vine.com. He was a baby then, not an adult. This is accurate.
I said I loved trolling people on Vine. Like I told you, I used
Yeah,
my
you
brother's
did.
profile picture and him wearing a fedora in it. Like he had to wear it for like a school project, and like I took a picture of him
For
and
a
that
school
was-
project.
Yeah, he was like he had to be like an old timey like 1920s gangster or something like that.
Why?
I don't know. It was a school
Milady.
project.
For the
Milady.
gangster project.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to be like a gangster, and he had to make up like a gangster character and present on it, and yeah.
I gotta tell you something. I had a school project, same school once again. It was for Black History Month, and we had to like dress as like different
It was
people.
blackface.
Oh man, you careful. I was gonna say I was interested where that was going for a second.
No, we had to dress up as people. Literally, just like wear like a tie or like a suit if you were like Martin Luther King or whoever. But like
Like the little mustache, the skinny.
yeah,
mustache.
or like a mustache or whatever. But the kid was like, "Did you get a brown face paint?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "You really should have bought that." And he was so mad at me that I didn't buy brown face paint. And looking back, I'm like,
Thank God! Thank God I didn't listen to my teachers.
No, the teacher didn't say that. It was the student I was paired with because we both had to dress as him.
okay.
No, the teacher's like,
Oh man, I
guys,
thought the
it's
teacher
cool."
was like, "Hey,
No,
I would have
no,
given
no.
you an A if you did some brown
You
paint,
get a
but
B
this
plus
is a B."
at best.
It wasn't very accurate. For that
No.
project, I had to be like Cleopatra. I had to dress up like Cleopatra.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I was like, I killed myself with a snake.
Everyone's like, "Thank you, Lively.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
how it
very
ends.
nice. That was very nice." This is 4th grade.
Yeah, it was
Can we
6th
not?
grade. Yeah, it was.
Was
6th
it really?
grade.
I was close.
Yeah, it was like right after like, hey, Billy Mays here died. My friend dressed as him. She put like a pillow in like her shirt and like had a flannel and then like made a mascara beard and was
She
like,
dresses Billy Mays.
Yeah,
What?
Billy-
I just love how you introduced him
Mays,
dying
yeah.
as that guy.
yeah, that's how she did. That's how she did her like presentation.
Wait,
like,
wait,
she
wait,
started
wait,
it
wait.
that
Now
way.
I'm confused. You just chose whoever, or like they
You had to
assigned it
choose
you?
dead historical figures or something like that. Billy Mays.
Hi, Billy Mays here for
As we know,
OxyClean.
Billy Mays brought down the German wall.
Yes. So like,
Hi, Billy Mays here. He was the first face they saw after the wall came down. He just peeps over the wall.
Hi,
Billy Mays here.
and he's like, hi.
I was gonna say, if you've not seen the Harley Quinn TV show, you definitely should. I was
It's
thinking of
got
Jim
a
Gordon.
voice by Haley Kuko. What's her name?
Yeah, Haley Kuko, Quacko.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rivers Cuomo?
she's
Governor
she's
Cuomo?
Governor Cuomo.
Governor Cuomo. That show randomly has like a lot of famous people like
My
voicing
name's
it
Harley
too.
Quinn. My name's Harley Quinn. My name's Harley Quinn. I'm here to kill you elderly and touch you women.
And touch a woman.
Okay,
The show blows.
Governor Cuomo cut. Can you not talk about that for one fucking
There's
second?
there's an episode where Harley Quinn's like, you know me, I'm always kissing people and being spontaneous. That fits him. That fits
Yeah,
him.
that's
perfectly.
true. That's true.
He's like,
He's
I'm always
watching it at home. I can relate to Harley.
I can relate to Harley.
It's such a
I'm
funny
always
show.
kissing people.
Don't relate to Harley. I have the accent. I'm always kissing people, without their, consent or whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. And did you see
C-word.
his response on that? I didn't see
I'm
everything
Italian.
about it, but I saw. He was like, look, I touch everybody on the face, and he shows a PowerPoint of him touching and kissing people. I'm like, that's not helpful.
That's proof.
Yeah, it's
Proof
just
of the
more-
thing. It's
More
disgusting.
incriminating evidence.
He's like,
He's
as
like,
you
"Look,
can
they
see,
like it."
she's clearly making it up. As you can see, I kiss everybody, and I touch
Yeah,
them
so
all.
does our president.
Ew. Yeah,
It's
no
just a
kidding.
politician's thing.
Everyone, they all do. They all do. Wait, Biden or Trump? Because it's both true. I'm pretty sure.
Both.
It's
Both.
both. Well, one grabs pussies.
I
One
swear.
grabs
Okay, in The
children.
Walking Dead, like as the show's gone on, like the skin continues to sag off the face, and it's just like eventually it's like almost skeletons. That's what Biden has looked like in the past 2 years. How long has it
my
been?
Isn't Biden like...
He's a shell of a man now. He's just like, the thing, you put the people on the cart, and the cart goes in the.
I
What are we
got
doing?
hairy legs, but by the corn pop.
Like somebody
really
somebody
like-
hit Joe. The puppet broke.
I really like when he's talking and they just like have the caption be like when you're skipping over like an NPC like conversation and he's just like jumping from like topic
what
to
he
topic
does.
in the middle of a
does.
sentence.
Have you seen
He's
the
just like,
TikTok sounds where it's like him screwing up for 45 seconds? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, it's so funny.
he's just like War of 17, natives, the
And they're collecting tomato sauce in jars.
Yeah, and then
2
you're like,
Yeah,
jars.
what?
that one. And Nick, it made me think of you because every time in that audio he stutters, the person in the video goes that like it's them in a different position across the room, like all. I was like, that's totally Nick. That's so funny.
Look at this video. I showed it to my parents and it's like Joe
Is it him
Biden like
falling?
falling from the and my parents were like, is that real? Like both I sent it to both of them and both of them asked if it was real. Like, hours apart, and I was like,
I wouldn't have
no.
doubted if that was real.
I was like, if he fell from that height with his like osteoporosis old man bones, he'd
Completely
totally be
cracked
dead.
to bits.
Yeah,
His arms just
Biden
fall off.
dissipates life on
Oh,
television.
darn it.
Him
Body
falling from the
pop,
top
choco
step.
Am I
chocolate
the-
chip.
My first reaction to the TikTok audio almost wasn't even like laughter. I was almost like, I was horrified. I was just like, this is running our country. That's good.
It's
Nothing,
so
no
sad,
problem
like,
there.
It's like, even if he's not making the decisions, you know how easy, like, old people are to sway? Like, they're the ones who are giving their credit card numbers out to, like, telemarketer
Right.
random people.
I had to
Like,
pay this bill with
Hey,
Amazon gift
This
cards.
guy named Kim, this guy named Kill Ung just asked me for our missile codes, but I gave it to him because he said he forgot and he dropped it the other week.
He was
Joe,
a good guy.
good guy. He said he was the only one in his family with internet. Joe, that was the leader of North Korea.
the only one.
Ah,
He was a nice boy. He's a nice boy.
he's a nice boy. It seemed like he was either 8 years old or 43. He sounded like a nice Joe.
Remember that, like, 2-month period where, like, everyone was convinced he was dead? Remember, like, everyone was
No.
like, you don't remember that? Like, everybody...
I thought Biden died.
No, not Joe Biden!
Oh.
I meant Biden.
When do people think he died?
Like, when was that? I mean, it could have fooled me, but
After
No,
he fell down
no.
the stairs like 3 times.
Like,
Biden
it's just like
really died
there's
after.
someone always like very conveniently next to him with his like shoulder behind him.
Like he's a puppet.
Hey Joe, we're just walking down the stairs, and he's like, "Hi, hello
Oh my
America.
God.
I'm so happy to say you."
Oh my gosh, that creepy Daniel. It's like the dang Toy Story, like.
Yeah. The hand
hate
like
it.
slips out at some point, it's just a hand out his mouth. Everyone's like, "Oh,
Oh.
He's, sorry about that, folks. That was just
I like ice cream. I like chocolate.
I just been eating children for the past 3 days."
And I love
It's like
kissing
FDR when he
women.
was like always with the blanket over him, and they're like, he's just cold. It's not polio. It's definitely not polio.
You said when they said it, like this was on social media.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
in
it
the
was his
media-
fireside chats. Remember that?
No, I don't remember.
You don't know what the fireside chats are?
I was
That's, like,
too
the
busy
first
knitting
4
sweaters for our men out in war. Sorry.
Our men out in war.
So
He's just
good.
sitting in it by the fire, and they blurred him out, his legs. He's like, "Hi, I don't have polio." What about you? I bet you don't have polio. No one has polio. I'm
No
just
one.
sitting down because it's comfortable here.
I can totally walk and
I can definitely walk. And
Move
it
all
cuts
my
it
limbs.
just in one frame, like no movement. It just cuts to him up for two frames. And he's back down. See, that was me standing. I don't have polio. Could you stand if you had polio? Boop, boop.
it's a different person that cut out the head, so you just see the body.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know,
cardboard
it's like when they have
cutout.
the
It's
two
just he's got his
screens.
head above it. He's like,
It's like
I
they do
don't
the
have
thing where it's like
polio.
the 2 screens and the body's like tap dancing below, and like his head is just edited over. Like,
no, he's still in his wheelchair, so the cardboard cutout, like the imprint, is a guy like on his knees.
yeah.
Hello, America. I've just been on my knees praying all day for our country at war.
Dude, he was a cuck. His wife totally cheated on him. You don't know Eleanor Roosevelt.
What?
Yeah, polio made him into a cuck. Cuckold.
Well, I guess I can't get up and stop it, so I'll just watch.
I don't think anyone has said that sentence ever. Yeah, polio made him do a cut.
Well, you're not hearing it on the History Channel, I'll tell you that.
I'm telling you, this is historically. He cheated on his wife, so he was like, wait, please don't leave me. It's gonna make us look bad and dysfunctional as a country. So, we can have an open relationship now. And then she, like, banged a bunch of, like, women, like, news reporters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew about this.
I'm impressed, actually. Maybe she should have been president. Jeez.
There you go.
Man. She's up on stage, they're like, "What, are we gonna take you seriously?" She's like, "I fucked 4 women today. Sit down." He's like,
Yes.
"Oh."
wife. It's like, oh, hey, dude, I'm sorry.
All the reporters, she's like, all your wives. Bill, you? Yeah, I fucked her yesterday. Everyone's like, oh. My
Yeah.
wife's in a wheelchair. Yep.
Yep.
Still
So's
works.
my husband.
Still works.
It still works.
Well, not for my husband, but I mean, for most other people.
Yes, but-
He's just sitting there like, yeah, she's right.
She said,
Can't get it up.
oh no.
I can't
saw-
get my penis up, but I don't have polio. It's not the polio. penis does not have polio. They both have the same beginning letters, no relation, okay, folks? Complete malarkey, the Russians are telling you.
That is fake news. Totally fake news.
Oh, golly.
I saw a photo.
We need a Cartoon Network show where we rewrite history like this. This is fantastic. Oh my gosh.
There's like levels of truth to everything we're saying. Believe me. There really are.
The historians
Oh my
watching
God.
this, like, well, I mean,
I want Morgan Freeman to narrate. And as we
Our
all know, Franklin, FDR's wife was a cock. Right? Or FDR was. Sorry, I messed it
FDR was a
up.
cuck.
FDR
I saw
was a
a photo of FDR Jr. this week for like the first time, and he looks like a modern day fuckboy, like 100%. Google a photo of him right now and tell me you
put him on the
wouldn't
screen.
imagine him shaking his ass on TikTok today.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Like, I'm serious.
I guarantee he does not look like that. Okay, FDR Jr., is that what I'm looking
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
FDR Jr. This man has jowls. What the fuck are you talking about?
Look at him as a kid.
Oh,
not as,
damn,
Like, a 90-year-old
okay,
man.
okay.
And then was like, oh, I tapped that. Okay.
Look, I'll be honest. I'd hit that. Let me share it. Yeah.
Hey man, we accept.
Can you see it?
He does!
Yeah,
He
doesn't
really
he
does.
look
That
like
hair,
a fuckboy?
that one piece of hair coming over the
That's
forehead.
what I'm saying.
Right?
He's like
Why
a
is he wearing
TikTok
19
e-boy.
coats? What the fuck?
It's called Polio. He was called.
He's also sitting down. I'm just wearing 19 coats because I'm
Franklin
cold. not
Delano
'cause-
Roosevelt is his full name?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Delano.
Franklin Delano.
I didn't know Delano.
I always thought it was Delano because I'm illiterate, but
No, it's
Delano.
Delano.
See, look at some of these pictures of him. He's
Oh
like,
my
oh, it's
gosh.
the Pennywise face. Well,
ew.
this is how fuckboys
smoking
will
my
look when they're
cigarettes,
He
old.
is definitely wearing someone's skin here. That's not his face.
He's like
Ew.
stretched out in the back.
Good evening, America.
Oh my gosh.
This is definitely the skin. Would you think this is the skin of someone that's got polio? Probably not.
You know,
He's
back,
just wearing someone's, like, from the waist down, he's just wearing someone else's legs.
like my dad was telling
They're,
us
like,
about.
flicking him from behind on sticks like a marionette puppet. He's like, if someone with polio could do this, and his legs are just flipping out.
Ew. He's like, ha cha cha.
Why did you
Hello,
say
my
ew?
baby. Hello, my honey.
To 50s music. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby.
Like, slapped it around.
Dick out on
So
national
gross!
Dick out on national television with that music going. We are getting to that time, so we should read notes and then we can sign off.
Alrighty.
Here is the note from Turntable Troglodyte from T-Dog.
Dizzle.
What is the funny... I haven't read these yet. What is the funniest celebrity death? Oh, no.
Oh.
How did we know about
Oh
this?
no.
It's a FDR, I guess. Anyway, what is the funniest celebrity death? I'm no historian, and that dying kind of sucks, but there's got to be some good ones in there, right? Mine's got to be the Titanic.
The Titanic?
It looked so silly when it was up in the air like that, LMAO. Nick's web... Fucking damn it. Nick's web toes scare me more than the thought of chronic poverty. What?
My webbed toes?
Nick's webbed toes scare me more than the thought of chronic poverty. It would be peachy if a reboot of Gladiator was made that starred fat Russell Crowe. Instead of saying, "Are you not entertained?" the audience would chant "Shubba Bubba."
Aren't they making a second one?
Yeah.
Like a sequel?
The audience would just chant "Shubba Bubba," forcing him to go on a sobbing rampage and kill everyone in the audience. For the final shot, you could turn to the camera and say, "Fat shaming is bad. This I know, for Darman told me so," and end with a twerk off against Commodus.
Funniest celebrity death. Elvis literally
Oh.
dying on the toilet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
that
one.
sucks. That
That's
sucks
a
so much.
classic.
Who was
You're like,
that? Was that
"That's so-"
Elvis?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis died on the toilet. Supposedly, I don't know. This probably isn't real, but people say he
No, I
did.
think he had like a
He had a heart attack on the toilet. He was pushing
Yeah.
too hard, and then he just
yeah,
died.
pushing too hard and pooped out. his heart.
Margaret Thatcher. Not so much her death being funny, but when she died, they had to like hire a guard because people kept pissing and shitting on her grave.
What?
Britain.
British.
Hey, Margaret, take this.
Oh my gosh.
That made me.
Hey,
giggle.
Margaret, you deserve a shit sandwich, right?
Did they say
Just
that the
perfectly
funniest
twirled.
death was the Titanic? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
I love like the tweet where they're like, no, it was like on 4chan. It was like, bitches be like, has like a hookup with a guy on a random boat, like when they were like young 20-year-olds and like teenagers or whatever, thinks about it for the rest of her life on her deathbed, talks about that hookup to her grandchildren, and is like, yeah, fuck that guy, I also killed him. And I'm like, that's how romantic. Great love story.
Smithy, Alabama's message. Oh boy, I'm worried for this one. You know what? Smithy, Alabama's message can wait. I've got a couple things I need to get off my chest before reading his message. First off, is there a message for Foxhawk? No, wait, I can't read. First off, this is a message for the Foxhawk was a great idea. Fuck you, Thesaurus boy. What did you type that up message between sips of Soylent? Kinda cringe, kid. Thanks
Sips
for the money,
of
sucker. All right, now that I've thoroughly destroyed that liberal, I have one last thing to say. You guys need to respect crinkle culture more. I understand that you may not be used to seeing a grown man pee-pee and duty in a diaper, but you guys need to live and let live. The intense feeling of freedom and liberation is something I haven't ever felt before, and I started mobile shitting. I don't deserve to be judged for it. I'm a good man. I contribute to society. I pay taxes. I piss myself. Who cares? Oh man, that feels good to get off my chest. Now for noted handsome man Smithy, Alabama's message. Hey guys, great podcast as usual. I'm really happy to hear we have a new member in the Pequeno family sending messages. Make sure you guys make him feel welcome. Smiley face. One question. Can a Tweety bird survive getting hit in the head with a hammer at light speed? He's nearly invincible given that he's a Looney Tune, but I remember hearing Julianna mention in a BTS podcast that she wants to see Tweety's brains being splattered on the fucking ground like a watermelon being dropped off a building. But I'm not sure how feasible it is. Fingers crossed for you, Julianna. My Instagram is @FreddyW. When did you talk about wanting to see Tweety Bird's brains on the ground?
I don't think I did.
It was behind the scenes, so you must have. Anything you want to share with us?
It's when Lively and I were singing about Jingle Bells, and she was like, I want to see Tweety die, and I was like, can we just sing about
Can we get back to singing?
But how did that come up?
No, I'm making that up. I
He's making it up,
I don't
Daniel,
recall Lively talking about that.
I'm sorry.
Did they say crinkle culture?
Crinkle culture.
Is that
what it's called?
I didn't know that. Do you guys fold or
Maybe it was
crinkle your
supposed to be-
toilet paper?
What?
I'm more of a crinkle guy.
I'm a crinkle guy, and my
Say it again, I
friends
didn't hear your
roast
question.
me. Do you fold or crinkle your toilet paper when you wipe, Daniel?
What's a crinkle? I don't know.
Like, you ball it up, or do you roll it and, like, fold it, like, properly? I feel like I get more surface area when I crinkle.
Yeah, dude.
It's like wiping
Crinkle,
grass.
yeah.
I don't understand that. How is that more
So
surface?
I don't
Literally
wanna-
less surface
I don't
area.
want to pet my ass.
Okay, you know what?
I do, sorry.
I have big stinky ploppies, and you know what? Sometimes if I fold and I'm wiping, my finger will rip right through the toilet paper. And so I need more protection by crinkling.
Maybe you just need thicker toilet paper.
No, I use plenty.
Because literally it rips midway through, and then it's just your bare fingers.
Yes!
And you're like,
God,
oh,
yes,
You guys are
thank
wiping
you.
hard. Jeez.
I'm not wiping hard. My poop is just insane, okay?
I'm sorry, are you delicate? Do you go nice and just...
I wipe my ass
gloves
with
on it?
hand towels, and I throw them out every time.
Wow.
Daniel just smells
5-ply
like
toilet
feces
paper.
every day.
That's good.
What are my friends?
Let's tag our shit. So, yeah, that's it for today. I can never do endings. I don't know why I do a podcast. I can't do these.
Okay, bye.
So I guess we've
Good
done the
night.
suicide jokes, so we're done. I think we're done. I think that checks all the list we've got for the day. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. The Instagram is actually like, I don't know how this stuff works. The likes are not obviously as high as like the videos I get, but the views are like almost the same, which is pretty good for a profile that's got like 44 followers, so that's nice. And then I've been sharing stuff into my YouTube shorts, and those are blowing up. So that's, yeah, good stuff. We had an email from someone in Germany that's like, your podcast is very popular in Germany. Congratulations. We love it,
like
yeah.
poo-poo?
We like poo-poo. The shit jokes, we laugh at those for like half an hour. Scheiße, that shit is so funny. You crack me up.
Porn?
He's gonna hate it after.
The Hitler jokes you make, we laugh at those for so long. Now he's gonna hate me.
And now, yeah, we just lost all
I'll
our
cut it
viewers.
out. I'll cut it. Anywho,
Daniel.
you can follow me anywhere. There's no point in doing like putting Senor Pequeños at any app.
Clash
He's
coming
the star
out
of this
soon.
show, clearly. His
No.
name is in the podcast.
I'm just
And
so...
it says with his name.
Stop it. It makes me so... It makes my OC so happy that I've got the same username on every platform because I hated having to change it. Because it used to be my full name, and I have to keep adding, like, ones and shit to, like... Because people still had my real name, which I was like, oh, sorry, but...
Ew, sorry. My
Sorry
name
about that.
sucks.
All right, Nick, you want to plug your stuff?
TikTok at I have no swag 98, Instagram at I have no swag 97, YouTube at Nick Ochoa.
Lively, plug something, anything. What's your Instagram? I hate you.
At lively H0_0D.
Is it an underscore or is it a dot?
It's an underscore. I wanted it to look like eyes and a mouth.
Oh, that's adorable.
Even though it
You're
doesn't
an
make any
idiot. Now
sense.
no one can find you.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. But...
Imagine making your username based off visual style and not like the ease of people finding you.
Okay, well, somebody
Idiot.
took livelihood spelled wrong. Whoever did that was an asshole. Okay, because
It was
that's
me.
my shtick. Okay.
It's like a
This
40-year-old
is
woman.
Lively's hood. We're just living in it.
Lively. You could have just put its livelihood and it would have been available.
That's lame. Livelihood, but with a face.
Oh, I'm sorry. Livelihood was so groundbreaking. Shut up, dude. You're an idiot.
That's terrible.
I love Lively. It's okay.
On that note of just completely shitting on Lively.
It's not.
Have a nice day, everybody, I guess.
Yes.
Unless you're
Goodbye.
lively, in which case,
Yes.
fuck yourself.
We hate women here, clearly.
Cut, hurry.